Oh baby, now that is a lot of damage. Zer0 is probably a lot of people's favorite character. His fast reload and weapon swap speed, his general movement speed, and his fast-paced playstyle certainly appeals to many players, me included. But there's definitely a learning curve to getting good at playing Zer0 and mastering his different playstyles. So, how do we get to the point where we do millions of damage with each shot? In this series I want to show you how I get a fresh level 1 Zer0 all the way to overpower level 10. But before we get into the actual guide, I want to get some things out of the way first. Since I play on PC, this guide was made with that in mind. You can do most of the things I show and talk about on console, it may just be a bit slower. Also, as the title says, this guide goes all the way to overpower level 10, which means that this guide assumes that you have all the content installed for the game. If you are missing something and wonder how you can change the route, feel free to ask in the comments. I will also be using a trick that you can do on PC. There's a key to instantly drop your equipped gun out of your hand, and since the game is coded in a way where every gun you find in the world has a full magazine, I can use this to instantly reload my gun. I'll be discussing drop reloading further in the UVHM video. The next thing, I changed my game a bit, nothing that substantially changes gameplay of course, but just so you don't get confused. I have the black outlines disabled just because I think it looks better. I disabled loading screens and with that all pre-rendered cutscenes, because I just can't be bothered watching the same cutscenes over and over again. Adding to that, I also have modified my INI files of the game, so that enemies I kill despawn instantly. This helps not only with lag, but also makes it so that the battlefield never gets too cluttered with dead enemies. Also, I am running something called DXVK, which is an open source Vulkan-based translation layer for Direct 3D, which increases the performance of the game. I have also removed the ad that shows up in the main menu of the game. If you're curious how I did all of that, I'll have some useful links in the description that'll show you how. But speaking of gameplay, I want this guide to be usable by everyone, which is why I have my baddest rank disabled and will not be using any world drops that I get. If I use a legendary, it will be because I specifically set to farm it in the guide. Also, I'll be doing some skips here and there. I'll be showing them off, but if you can't be bothered to learn them, you can always just go the intended way. It really won't change much, other than being a bit slower of course. I also want to encourage everyone who is new to the game to go out and explore it on your own first. This is just my personal route to get to the end game in a more streamlined manner. Okay, so now that we have got all of that out of the way, let's get to the guide. In this video, I'll be covering all of the things I do in normal mode with Zer0. Enjoy. Now, the first little skip is actually already done when entering Claptrap's place. I walk in front of his platform to activate a trigger. I jump on the stalagmite to hit the save station through a wall. Then, once Claptrap starts talking, I skip his dialogue by using the echo each of the 4 original Vault Hunters start with. After turning in the mission, I save good to spawn right to the save station, skipping more of Claptrap's animations. There's another thing I should note. I'll be using save quits often to skip dialogue or avoid running back to a location. As with the skips mentioned in the intro, you don't have to do it. It's just faster than running back and waiting. Once we're back in the game, I go to the Digistruct Peak map and complete the first quest to get to level 3. I also check all of the containers for some early grenades and high-level guns, which you can sell for early money. Once I did that, I go back to the main game and follow Claptrap all the way to Knuckle Dragon. I pick up the revolver she drops, and after getting the eye, I save quipped twice. Doing it twice here teleports Claptrap forward and skips some of his dialogue. Now we're on our way to meet Sir Hammerlock. Nothing here should cause many issues. Once you repaired Claptrap and got the bounty board up and running, we'll get the town ain't big enough side mission. We completed to unlock the mission after it, cause Bad Hair Day is the one we're really after, since it gives a nice sniper as a reward. After cleaning up the burg, we make our way to Boom Boom. Once we clear out Camp 1 and 2, we can either let Claptrap lower the bridge for us, or we do a grenade jump to skip the bridge. If you do this skip, you want to head to this area to activate Claptrap on the other side. The skyrocket makes killing Boom Boom really easy, and once you're done with that, we shoot the gate and immediately jump off of the ship.
Just blast this gate down, but don't do it until I have...
We're going to these bully monks over here to complete the Bad Hair Day quest now.
Are you collecting bullymong fur? I love that stuff.
Once we have all of the hair, we go back to Hammerlock and read-only farm as a reward for a Dayu. If you don't know what read-only means or how you do it, and I have a video on that on my channel, which I'll link in the description. Once I get to Dayu, we're off to farm Boom Boom for some XP. The goal is to get to level 9 by the time we kill Captain Flint, as this will scale the next map. So I farmed to around 8.9, 8.8, and put my points in the headshot because I want to go down the sniping tree first. Now, getting to Flint has some skips I used, the first being a grenade jump from this house up the cliff. The second being after saving Claptrap. I used the chain to get up to the lever faster. After hoisting up Claptrap, I jump through this little hole and run up towards the platform where Flint will be. Once he spawns, I get him to jump down, get knocked away by his attack, but instantly go back to hug him. We do that to block him in a position where he can't move anywhere. This way, we can kill him easily by critting him over and over again. Now I just follow the mission until I meet Reese. I kill his attackers, and once I get the objective to search the camp for the core, I shoot in that general area to get the psycho aggroed at me. He will always be the one who carries the core. When meeting a scooter, I do a little trick to skip some of his dialogue. This only works if you have a free scroll mouse wheel on your mouse though. If you set the interact key to the mouse wheel in the option, you can use the hundreds of inputs that produces when you spin the mouse wheel to confuse the game and skip some dialogue or animations. After that, I pick up the 2 cells from him, get the assassinate the assassin's quest and a grenade STU from Earl. Now, this is important. I want to do the side quest before speaking to the guard at the headquarters. I want to get some more XP so that the quest that comes after this one will be a higher level. So I make my way to Southpaw. Finishing all 4 assassins should not be too hard, especially if you're not afraid to use the skyrocket indoors.
I'm positive she's hiding out near Sanctuary. Drink of her, tell me and I'll pay you enough money to build a mansion.
Throwing grenade.
After that, I found the first 2 assassins to around level 12.5 or 12.6. This is to scale the side quest we'll get to later on to its highest possible level. Doing this, I max out headshot and put the remaining points into killer. Now we're ready to continue with the main story. We go to the HQ, get the Echo, and head to Frostburg. On our way to the Firehawk, I grab the Lasco, because it's just a really good SMG that I'll be using a lot in the near future. When meeting Lilith, we do the same trick we did at Scooter to skip her initial dialogue and make the fight start sooner. This is where the level farming comes into play. We want to be level 13 by the time we turn this mission in. We can use the same scroll wheel trick here again to skip more of a dialogue at the end. Peak level 13 here will scale the In Memoriam side quest we get from afterwards to level 13, which is its maximum level for normal mode. This is important because we'll be farming Bull for a fastball and we want it to be its highest possible level. Before I get the mission, I go to Marcus and do his quests. I don't finish it though, I just do it until I get the slag gun, since I can use that for the early application of slag. After talking to him and starting his mission, I grab the Echo in front of him to override his dialogue and make the quest move along a bit faster.
Question to ask him.
These take that, Jack. Armored targets, like now.
After finishing the mission and getting ourselves a fastball, some people like to farm for a specific one, or even multiple ones. I usually just grab the first one I get. We move on with the story. We meet Ellie, get the car parts, and make our way back to the stronghold. Oh, also, you'll notice I always use the barrel technical throughout this run. It's just because it's faster than any other car. I don't know why that is, but oh well. Anyway, we meet Badmore, introduce him to our fastball, and walk into the stronghold. Now it's time to farm for some more levels. Badmore is a really nice and fast XP farm. It's also one of the reasons I got the slag gun. If your fastball is anything but fire, it'll take 2 to kill Badmore, unless he's slag. I farm Badmore till level 17. Some people farm him till 18, but I find it to be a bit too slow, so I just move on after 17. Badmore can also drop some decent gear and quite a bit of iridium, so make sure to pick those up if you see them. Now, while we farm Badmore, I want to mention some items you want to look out for throughout this run. These don't really have a set drop location, so if you find any during your run, make sure to pick them up. First, our bandit launchers. They are really good second wind guns, so it's good to have one on hand. Next thing are cooldown relics. As the name implies, they reduce the cooldown of your action skill, which is always a good thing. Now, the last 2 things are a longbow and a lob Zero Fuse Singularity. If you see either of those in a vendor, make sure to buy them, since they'll become useful later on. If you don't find a Zero Fuse one during a normal mode run, that's fine, just pick one up that has a decent fuse time. If I don't get one during my run through normal mode, I farm one at a later point, so you can always get one then. Once I'm level 17, I max out Killer, get Boar, and start maxing out one shot, one kill. After that, I go to Earl to buy some more grenade, pistol, and sniper STUs, and go to Rotgut Distillery to get an on-level turtle shield. We'll be using turtle shields for most of this run, because early on the tankiness really helps with survivability, and later on we actually want our health to be lower. But more on that in the peak video. Now it's time to get through Bloodshot. There are a few different ways to get through. The first and most obvious one is just going the normal way. Since we got all of those levels, nothing in here should pose much of a threat to you. The only room where you have to be a bit careful is Mad Mike's room. It's a circular one with the giant toilet of doom in the middle. Mike spawns with a launcher and he doesn't like you. So if you have only a few enemies left, go to where he spawns and kill him quickly. Don't let him catch you by surprise. Then there are two skips we can do to skip most, if not all of Bloodshot. The second one does require a double grenade jump, so it'll probably take a bit of practice to get right. Since we found all those levels though, we can just breeze through a lot of the upcoming missions. I save Roland from the big toaster, meet Mordecai, meet Tina, get the explosives, blow up the bridge, meet and kill Wilhelm, and get Sanctuary in the air.
You might want to hang on to something.
Once I get the 3 horns, I immediately turn around, go back onto Sanctuary Hole, and go to the Caustic Caverns. This map will be important in a bit, so I want to get the fast travel unlocked early. When we get to the fridge, you can go into Fink's slaughterhouse and farm the vendor there for some better gear. I usually just get a new Jacobs of out of sniper rifle here. Now I just run through the fridge, activate the fast travel station, only to find out that Sanctuary has been wiped from the system. So I make my way through the next area. Now, here again, you can just go the normal way, either take the crane or the bridge, or you can do 2 grenade jumps to skip right to the Thresher. Which we can kill easily with the Snag pistol and the Skyrocket.
Use that to get Sanctuary back on the fast travel network. Simple, except not at all. Did that Thresher just eat the beacon? You'll need to get that back.
On my way to Overlook, I make sure to activate this fast travel station, because I'll be using it quite a bit later on. The fight in Overlook is really nothing noteworthy. You can use the high ground for an advantage, but other than that, there isn't anything you should worry about.
Fast travel station calibrated.
Once we're back in Sanctuary, I want to do a few side quests, just to get some more XP, and one key item that we will use later on. Do not complete the main mission objective yet. As we did before, we want to level up a bit before accepting the next quest, scale it to a specific level. First, I do the safe and sound mission and farm a decent heartbreaker when turning it into Moxie. Now for this, you want to travel to the Caustic Caverns. This is why we came here earlier. Go out to the Sanctuary Hole, up the stairs until you hit the trigger, and then back into the caverns and over to Blue. Killing Blue should really not be an issue, since for some reason you can crit its legs with grenades, dealing tons of damage. The Heartbreaker here is nice, but the real reason we did this mission is so that we can farm Blue for a Fabled Tortoise. This shield has the effect that whenever it is depleted, it gives you a 50% movement speed bonus. Zer0 sniper class mods take away some shield capacity, so if you get one at a high enough level, we can use this combo to permanently deplete the Tortoise shield, giving us the movement speed all the time. Since we will be getting the sniper class mod at level 50, I want to get a Tortoise here that has a capacity of under 3000. You will get some XP during this farm, but we actually want to get some more. So we go to the bounty board and get the Clan Wars and the Good and Bad and Mordecai side missions. Clan Wars is a mission chain and is mostly pretty straightforward. However, if you use some clever cast strats, you can avoid driving around a bunch. After placing Clover on the Hodang's tire, we go to the camp to progress the Good, the Bad and the Mordecai mission. I finished this one first since we're already in the dust and we'll need this farm open as well as the XP relic as a replacement for our Vault Hunter relic.
Congrats. Hope you make better use of them than I did.
Then we just follow the Clan Wars mission chain for now. So when you get to turning in the end of the rainbow, you spawn both cars, but leave one in the Hodang camp. After driving with the other car to Steve, you teleport back to the first one, do the mission, teleport back to the second one, turn it back in, teleport back once more to get the new quest, teleport back one last time and drive to Lynchwood. Having Lynchwood unlocked now will make the farm at the end of this mission easier. From Lynchwood you can just travel to Sanctuary and get drunk.
Found something yet?
Now, crashing the wake is also easy as can be. The game wants you to kill the enemies in the bar, but you really don't need to. You just walk in, get the track mark, and walk back out. When we get to the showdown, you travel to Lynchwood and go through the area transition to spawn directly next to the bosses. Firstly, we'll farm Tector for a Slagger. Now, as long as you only kill the boss and not also all of his goons, you can save quit and refound them without having to complete the mission. This way, we'll get both the Slagger from Tector and be able to farm Mick for Maggie and XP. And this is exactly what we're gonna do. After getting the Slagger, I complete the quest by killing Mick, and then farm him using the Slagger and the Fastball for Maggies, and until they reach level 23. Now, if you don't get a Maggie before you reach 23, which is unlikely but can still happen, just keep farming until you get one. After reaching level 23, I max out one shot, one kill, and put the remaining points into Fast Hands, since I want to go down the Cunning tree now. Once we're done with this, we go back to Sanctuary. Before talking to our friends though, I finished Marcus's quest to get rid of the pistol we got from it. After getting the main mission, I also grabbed the Doctor's Orders quest from Tannis. At Wildlife, I get a new shield and go meet Mordecai. I damage the 3 loaders and make my way through the map. Interestingly enough, you don't actually have to hit the button at the door like the game wants you to. You can just skip that area entirely and be completely fine. Once at the area before Bloodwing's Feather, I kill the loot midgets once, just to see what I can get. In this case I got a Hammer Buster, which I won't be using, as I mentioned in the intro. I don't bother farming the midgets more, but if you want to, you can. While making your way through the map, you can decide to fight all of these enemies here to open the door, or you can simply grenade jump and jump over them. Bloodwing's first phase is easily dealt with using the Maggie, and for the other 2 I just use the Skyrocket, and that's that mission.
The
Before going out and meeting Brick, I get the Rackaholics Anonymous quest for Mordecai. It gives a nice Moxie weapon as a reward, which I'll be using throughout most of normal mode and TVHM. Getting the levels from the car can be made really simple. I just grab a car, leave the dust, go back in, and the car will be stuck in place.
After the Rackahol!
Kai was more interested.
You got them all!
Once that's done, I farm the Turnitin Moxie to get myself a matching grip Slag Ruby. Since it's a Moxie gun, it has the lifesteal effect, so when wielding it you get plus 12% lifesteal to all damage dealt. After that we go meet Brick, do his initiation and protect this place, go to Opportunity, take out the Jack clone and get our voice chains. These two missions are pretty straightforward. But before going to the bunker, there are a couple things I want to do still. First, it's getting to level 25. I simply farm Mobley and Kettle for the XP. Now, it is possible that you'll get a Lyuda over root doing this farm. If you do, you can obviously use either going forward. I won't use either since I don't really need them right now. In any case, once we've reached level 25, we'll be going to the Scarlet DLC to get ourselves a class mod. Now, I only play this DLC until I unlock the Grendel side mission, which is after meeting Scarlet. So, we clear the area and kill Nobiet, then we meet Shade, fix the boat, meet Scarlet, and go back to Oasis to get the quest. Once we have that, I'll make my way to Hades Folly to complete it. I don't bother finishing the Sandman quest yet, as I'll be doing that later in the run. For now, I just want the class mod. I found the turn-in for the Professional with +4 in Killer and +3 in Ambush. You can take one that has +3 in Dufang instead of Ambush, but since I won't be speccing in that skill, I'll take one with Ambush. Now we're ready for the bunker. When making our way to the bunker, I kill the first constructor, jump up on these rocks to avoid the mortars.
I'm making my way up the cliffside, soldier. Keep pushing your way up and I'll meet you at the chamber.
Kill the two turrets, run up to the baddest constructor and try to kill it with bore. If you shoot at the turrets of the constructor, it can lead to you boring the enemy to insta-kill it. If it doesn't happen, you can just shoot it in the eye or go hide behind it. And it's off to the actual boss. Killing the 11 turrets shouldn't be an issue, just be careful to not fall off or die to the lasers. Bunker itself is easy as well, since with bore you can just one-shot it.
Destroy those little
Now comes the most fun part of the story, control core range. You can get to it either by going with the elevator, or you jump out of bounds here and fall down a bit faster.
Sanctuary will die, staring at their own lungs as I rip them from their chests.
It's just 15 minutes of boring mobbing, nothing too much to say about that. The chest room after the bunker is the same as the midgets. You can farm this with read only, but I usually don't bother. After that, it's off to Iridium Blight. I follow the mission until I get to Sawtooth, but I don't complete the map just yet. First, it's time to get some more levels. There are two main ways most people get levels here. I personally farm Mobley and Gettle. Other people just kill King Mong over and over. I usually farm until around level 28. Some people like to push it all the way to 30. It's really your call. Usually I do the Safe and Sound mission now before farming the levels, but since we got a Heartbreaker early on already, most of our gear is a bit under leveled at this point. So I actually farm for Lyuda here as well. It'll help not only with Sawtooth, but later parts of the game as well. Once that's done, I put the points I get into Ambush. Then I go back to Sawtooth. You can get yourself a better turtle shield here from the vendor if you need it. Then it's time to fight. Sawtooth has a reputation for giving people some problems, but the way I do it, it usually works out fine. I jump down the side of the cliff to get right into the entrance, clear out all of the enemies next to the elevator, and call the button to have the commander spawn. Once they're all dealt with, you can go the normal way around to the map marker, or you can use a grenade jump here to skip all of that. I kill all of the enemies in that area and make use of a very weird trigger. If you jump in this corner, it counts towards the mission progression and skips it forward. Again, don't ask me why it's a thing, it just is. And then I grenade jump up to the pipe and make my way to the buzzard that way to avoid aggroing the enemies up here.
How all of Roland's training, all his experience counted.
I have to run in a bit into the camp to get the objective, but once the buzzard is dealt with, I just go back to where I came from.
Not even looking at the explosion!
Mortar is easy to kill, and the 5 buzzards should not be an issue either with our Lyuda.
Headache! How about a face full of gear pissing me off?
After that, we go to the Boneyard. Now once here, I turn the mission in and travel to Sanctuary to get the This Chest In mission for Mordecai. This is where the singularity comes in useful. I never actually take the elevator up to the enemy. I just throw the singularity at the floor here to aggro Halkos that way and make him jump down. This prevents the loaders from spawning after the mission is completed. You can farm for a quote-unquote decent beat. I usually just take the first one that drops. I do recommend getting one that you can use immediately though. Once you have that, it's on to the pumping stations. I go to the first one, send the elevator down, spawn both cars, take one to the station across, hit the valves, and then teleport back to the other car to save some time.
Warrior is, we can all go. Now crank those valves.
Unknown to me.
Cool. So raise the pressure till that pipe's fit to burst.
The last pumping station can be a bit scary because enemies with rocket launchers can spawn here, so look out for those. They'll really ruin your day if you're not careful. Once that's done, I do another skip to avoid going through the pipe. Once in the Badlands, I go and do the Uncle Teddy mission from the bounty board. If you turn that into Una, it gives you a Lady Fist, a pistol with 800% crit damage. The quest itself is very easy. All the echoes always spawn in the same location, and after picking up the last one, you can select the Getting to Know Jack quest to skip some dialogue, and use the money here to group pick up the blueprints through the floor.
I'm Mr. Baha. We at Hyperion adore your wave.
Hello, mercenary.
Here I'm looking for a decent, non-elemental Lady Fist. Decent meaning either Bandit Hyperion, Vladov, Grip, or preferably a sight. Once I got that, it's off to Saturn. Killing him should not be difficult, just use the Bee and the Slagger, or a Lyuda if you have one. This little hut is a perfect hiding spot to be safe from most of its attacks. For the enemies going forward, I will be using the Bee and Lady Fist combo since that's, well, balanced. Once we have the location of the warrior, we're ready to finish the game. Well, not quite. I first want to get just a few more levels, so back to Zer0 we go. I found Zer0 to around level 31, to be comfortable level for the last couple quests. I use a grenade jump to get to Zer0 faster, but you can just go the normal way around. Now back at Sanctuary, I get the final quest and make my way to Claptrap in Iridium Blight. I save good after talking to him to skip some dialogue. The fight at the door itself should not be that hard. I usually hide behind this container to get some cover. The main thing to look out for are the badass surveyors. With that done, we're on to the second to last map. Hero's Pass is nothing special. The only thing to pay attention to are enemies with launchers, as to not have them surprise you. You can of course follow Hero's Pass the intended way and get to the vault like that, but to speed it up, I use some skips here and there.
Get the hell away from my friend! Oh God, is he screaming again?
The true world revealed. Weaknesses now known to me. Time to go to work.
You may notice that there's no lava in my vault. It's simply a side effect of using DXVK. The lava is still there and will very much burn me, it's just invisible. Killing Jack and the warrior is extremely easy with the Lady Fist and the Beast Shield. I approach Jack from the side here to have a better angle on him during the fight and to have some cover when fighting the warrior. Once the warrior falls, we can kill Jack and we're done. Well, not quite. There are a few things I want to do now before starting TVHM. First is getting some more XP. Warrior is a really good XP farm, so I do that until level 35. I put 1 point in Deathmark and start to max out Fearless. Doing this, you will get a lot of Iridium to you, which is nice with USDUs.
It's dangerous to go alone, jerkwad. It's never happened. What a sucker. Maybe that helps you kill stuff better. What a sucker. Displeasure doing business with you. What a sucker. Don't even think about bringing that one back. Out of my face. Out of my face.
Once that's done, I go back into the Scalded DLC to progress it further until I get to the side mission, which will give me the Pimpernel. Killing Sandman is easy because his area is still scary to level 25. To get to him a bit quicker, I use 3 grenade jumps, but again, you can just go the intended way. Now for the second piece, I'm using a similar strategy as in Clan Wars. I spawn both boats, keep one by Scarlet, use the other to get to the piece, travel back to the first one, get the next mission and the gift, travel back to the boat on the far side, and get to the rust yards. Once there, I use this alternative route to avoid the enemies at the gate, then use this way above the enemies to skip those two.
Looks creepy enough to be Herbert's shack up there on that ledge.
Then we have to get the tapes for Herbert. This mission sends you all over the map, but there are a few ways to make it a bit faster / safer. The first being to jump over the fence to get down to the objective faster. Once I get the first tape, I go back up to Herbert and use a grenade jump to get up to the boat. This is to avoid having to go through the camp back by the first tape. So now I can just get the rest of the tapes and go back to Herbert. We're almost done with this DLC for now. Last thing we have to do is to get to the refinery. Once there, I grab the mission from Sensibot, complete it, and grab the second one he has. This is the one we're after. Now I recommend you simply leave through the error transition and do the quest, because then you can just save, quit, and spawn right back up at the refinery. It's time to farm this reward. Here I'm looking for a matching grip slag Pimpernel. Since I'll be running a Sniper Zer0 setup for most of this run, and specifically in the peak, the slag Pimpernel is going to be our main slagging weapon from now on. This is why I like to get a really good one here. Once I have that, we go to Lynchwood. I complete the first 2 missions here to get to the last one, where you fight the sheriff. The sheriff has a chance to drop the sheriff's badge relic, which is extremely useful. I like to do this part here on read-only, since if you do it after the mission ends, you have enemies spawn on your way to the sheriff. I just take the first sheriff's badge I get here. If I get a bad one right now, I just come back later and farm a better one. Then I read-only farm the turn-in to get myself a perfect deputy's badge. That relic is not that important with our play Zer0, but it can be useful in some situations, and since it only has 4 variants, getting a perfect one is not too difficult. The last thing to get on a normal mode is to get a couple more levels. The goal is to get around level 37.5. This is specifically to scale a mission later on in TVHM. To do that, I used the Snowman Headhunter since the boss gives some good XP and the train can have some really good loot. This Headhunter is really short and straightforward. The only thing to know is that when you kill the Snowman during the mission, you can actually kill him again after turning the mission in, without having to save quit. After that, you'll have to save quit every time though. The loot train you get after every kill can have some really good items in it. The main things I'm looking out for here are bandit launchers, a better turtle shield, a cooldown relic, and the singularity nades I mentioned at the start. And well, that's that for normal mode. Now we're ready for TVHM. I hope this guide could help some of you and you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to not miss the TVHM upload. Thanks for watching and I'll see you around.